Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of Priest Week, first week of our Theory Crafting podcast, Theory Crafting Weekly. We're going to be taking a look today at Priest Deck. Now, the idea behind this whole podcast is that we are a dedicated group of people who are grinders ourselves on the ladder. We want to make these videos to analyze the metagame and try and create decks to exploit the metagame as best we can. I mean, these decks are tailored to anybody, to your casual players, to people who are just trying to get better, to your hardcore grinders. So, as I said before, this week we're doing Priest, and Priest generally is a control class, very hard control, hard removal, lots of AoE, lots of board presence in the late game, but a lot of board control in the early to mid game. And some of the newer Priest decks with Blackrock Mountain's release have kind of strayed away from this kind of concept. Now with this example here is with Dragon Priest, they go with the tempo plays. So they go with their early game, and then they get into their mid game, they buff them up with Villain's Chosen, they hit their late game, and then they just kind of overwhelm you with either card advantage, board advantage, some combination of both. So the deck that I've made here is Antimeta Priest is what it's called. Basically, this deck was designed with the idea that the top 5 decks that are being played on the ladder are Patron Warrior, Face Hunter, Handlock, Demon Zoo, and Tempo Mage. So you can expect, and there's no real hard statistics on this, there's just kind of a gut feeling that me and some other people have had, that this is kind of what you're going to be facing. So we'll go through the deck here, take a look and see what some of these cards are, and as you can see, the curve is really a balanced curve. It gets a little bit higher in the late game, but it's pretty crucial, but you're going to get to the late game most of the time anyways with this kind of a deck. So we'll go through it here. So we have, Circle of Healing combos with our Auchenai Soul Priest. Also does a good job of comboing with the Northshire Cleric. Pretty staple priest stuff. Same with the Power Word Shield and the Cleric here. One Iron Beak Owl, we need some silencers to get pushed through. If there's heavy taunts, heavy taunts are some potentially toxic minions that we face along the way that can really hinder our game plan, i.e. Mal'Ganis, Sludge Belchers if we are at the point where we kind of want to push through some damage, things of that nature. We got a Shrinkmeister, singular Shrinkmeister here to combo with our Cabal Shadow Priest. Usually good at stealing things in Zoo and Tempo Mage, sometimes in Handlock, but rarely. But mostly letting them for Face Hunter, and we can also use this in Patron Warrior, so it kind of covers a broad spectrum of the top 5. The Pyromancer is a pretty crucial card as well, also gives you that AoE potential, really good against the Face Hunter deck and the Zoo deck, especially since they're all playing now, they're playing Implosion, which only gives you 1/1s. So great choice in card, and it's really indicative of the control kind of feel that this deck has. We're playing 2 Shadow Word Deaths, kind of staple, and a big Game Hunter to deal with the things like in Handlock, the Giants, any big cards like Mal'Ganis in Demon Zoo, if you run as the one that has Mal'Ganis in it, etc., Dr. Booms, and whatnot. Dark Cultist, straight value minion, gets you some health to help you trade a little bit better, and it's a solid 3-drop. Playing Shadow Madness hits a good portion of the decks as well. It'll hit the Patron Warrior, the Face Hunters, etc. So this is a solid tech choice to run in. It's kind of not even a tech choice anymore. It's really kind of staple in the Priest deck. You at least play 1 Shadow Madness. We're running the Auchenais. Obviously, we can in the late game push through some big damage or get our trades up to par, make our trades much better with the Hero Power and the Auchenai Soul Priest. So we're obviously auto-include 2 of these. We're playing a Kazan Mystic. We're facing a lot of Face Hunters, so they play 2 traps really only in the deck. They're only playing Explosive Trap, and they're maybe playing 1 Snake Trap at most, but mostly just playing 2 Explosive Traps. So stealing one of these is going to be really crucial for us. Really great to basically get a board clear out of it, and we're stealing one of their cards. Also is very good against the Tempo Mage deck. They usually play 2 Mirror Entities. They may also play a Counterspell or something to that effect. So Kazan Mystic's also going to be great. It also does facilitate, especially against the Priest deck, it allows us to facilitate our next big play. If they have the Mirror Entity and we know they have the Mirror Entity, we're kind of limited on what we can really play because we don't want to give it to them, so we just steal it and we go on our merry way. We got a Senjin, one singular Senjin, solid 4-drop, kind of gives you the Stay Alive package. This in combination with Sludge Belchers. It kind of gives us those taunts and that value. We can trade up decently well against a majority of the decks that are out here now. And the reason why I chose Senjin and Sludge Belcher, particularly against Patron Warrior, you can trade into their patrons very easily, very effectively, and still you don't trigger the patron. So that's why I chose these guys over some other potential cards in these slots here. Holy Nova to deal with the Zoo, Face Hunter decks. It's very good for us. Just another standard AoE board clear. Light Bomb does the same thing. This is good against pretty much all the decks on the ladder. You just play this and they have a big board. Now they don't have a big board and you're up on cards. Took you one card to basically kill off maybe 3 or 4 of theirs. So this is a great card. Some decks are playing the 1. I think the 2 is pretty crucial, particularly when you hit the Zoo deck and you hit the Patron Warrior deck. They're usually going to go off on their turn 6 if they get the God Draws with a Thaurissan, or they're going to go off on turn 8. You can just hold it and then just play it off and blow up their board, set them really far back. And again, we have the Cabal Shadow Priest to deal with the Face Hunter, the Zoo, the Tempo Mage decks, and then in combination with the Shrinkmeister, we can pull a Patron, or we can pull a Warsong Commander. I mean, this hits many targets right now on the ladder. We got a Sylvanas, just a kind of standard combo with the Shadow Word Death. Pretty crucial to keep this in here. We can steal Giants and whatnot, and so this deck has enough control elements, board control elements, so that we can kind of craft our way around and work our way towards a designated target to steal with Sylvanas. Last card I included in here was Black Knight, just to get through taunted minions. It's really kind of up to you on what you want to play here. If you see Druid being a thing, a Ramp Druid being a thing, and they're playing Angels of War, sure, we'll include this. But I have seen, I think you could probably replace this with something like a Ren Blackhand if you see more legendaries or control out there. I know some pros are playing this. People like Brian Kibler really are kind of rallying behind Ren Blackhand, think he's pretty good. I personally am not a fan, but it's a choice you can make. You can really pretty much put anything in the slot. Dr. Boom. You can put a Mind Control in here if you really feel like it. Going old school. You can stick, Ragnaros, Nefarian. Surprisingly, Nefarian's actually really good. You can put whatever you want in this slot, but I'm a fan of Black Knight. So, really, I mean, as you can kind of see, this deck kind of really explains itself. It's pretty straightforward in how you play it. You look for your early game, and you just look to just really control the board, control the flow of the game, and keep it in your pace. It's a grindy deck. It's a really grindy kind of match. Pretty much no matter what you play, it's going to be really slow going, so you really kind of have to have patience with it. Run your opponent out of cards, and then at the end you can overwhelm them with just any creatures you really have. So wonderful deck. Again, I think this deck is one of those decks that can really exploit the metagame really well, and obviously you can shift things in your favor. You can pop the Black Knight out, and if you're facing a lot of Hunter, well, hey, pop in Harrison Jones, and you're even more anti-meta than before. But this is really a good skeleton, I guess. You can make changes to your playstyle however you see fit, but really this is kind of a skeleton that you can work off of and go off of to create a deck you can really climb with. So thank you guys for checking out the deck. We are going to be doing our stream on Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time on Twitch. Link to the stream will be down in the description. Hope to see you guys all there, and we will catch you on Friday. Thanks for watching.